let's talk about, let's hope that came through. Let's talk about how to use spiritual expectations to supersize and grow your business. Today's topic is one that probably very few, if hardly any business owners, unless you're in a spiritual or kingdom-based type environment or business, think about. Yet it is a powerful way to differentiate ourselves, to set ourselves up for success, and to connect with the people that we're really here to serve as we're building and growing and supersizing our businesses. So what does this topic even mean? Of course, we're focusing on spiritual health and well-being this month, which is, again, an area that the vast majority of businesses don't even consider, yet it is silently often impacting either positively or negatively your organization. If there's a lot of spiritual diversity in your organization and you're not making that okay, then there's probably cultural clashes going on that you're not even aware of. And we want to be aware of that, and we want to be aware of and clear about our expectations when it comes to growing and building and supersizing our business and positively impacting our culture. And spiritual components, spiritual aspects of us as human beings needs to be taken into consideration as part of that. All 9 areas need to be taken into consideration if we want to build and grow and supersize our business and make the world a better place. And I'm like, if you don't want to make the world a better place, please don't listen to me. Please don't follow me. Go out and do your own thing, but get somebody else to help you. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that can help you build and grow and supersize your business. And they don't care whether you make the world a better place or not. I, on the other hand, do, because I know what we put out into the world comes back to us tenfold. And I say that means you should always be putting good into the world. Just my opinion. So today we're going to ask ourselves not a series of questions, but a couple of questions that I think are important, and you may not have ever considered them before. I know, a couple of decades ago, when it came to certain topics, we just didn't go there at work and in my businesses. They were religion and politics, because people have such deep-seated emotional attachments to different feelings, different beliefs, different values in those areas. It just was like back in the day, and this was before the internet was really a huge impactor. People would get into actually really nasty arguments about things that really had no control over them, especially when it came to politics and religion, right? Each and every one of us has the right to believe what we choose to believe. And we're not going to change anybody's mind. We can argue till we're blue in the face, but that's not going to change anybody's mind. We each have the power individually and collectively to change our own minds, and nobody else is going to change it for us. We're not going to let them. That's part of our free will. So today, my question is, have you thought about, much less shared expectations about your spiritual expectations with other people in your organization, that in the business that you're trying to build and grow and supersize? Have they shared theirs with you? Because the first step in understanding and accepting other people and letting them be themselves is understanding where they're coming from, why they feel the way they do, why they believe. And maybe we don't have to. Maybe we just have to respect that. And this is, again, a choice for you, that we each get our own spiritual beliefs and we leave everybody else's alone. It's kind of like the old adage. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Remember that? It's kind of like the golden rule. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. I don't know if they even teach those things anymore. I sure hope so. So has there ever been an actual discussion or expectation sharing along the topic of spiritual health and well-being for your organization? And, depending on your business, depending on the size of your business, it might be a bigger cultural impact than in others. I mean, if you're a 3-person organization, it's pretty easy to sit down and talk about, hey, these are our spiritual expectations of one another, of ourselves. I think it's really powerful to share what your own personal spiritual expectations are for yourself. I have several. One is around everybody gets to believe what they want to believe. And I honestly think that human beings go through a transition. Some people are born having strong faith, and it's nurtured when they're young, and they just continue to build upon that belief and that faith in a higher power, let's just say. Other people never had any of that. And I'm thinking the current couple of newer generations have had very little family actually unit and very little moral, spiritual, ethical training or values. And the leaders in the world have set a really bad example for a couple of generations of people. And those of us fortunate enough to be born before all the craziness, because it's been in my lifetime, but I was still raised in a time when we were taught to think for ourselves. And then education, as I was getting more and more education, I actually noticed a switch. And I was probably on the beginning, the leading edge of that switch, from people thinking for themselves to, you better give your professor the answer they want to hear if you want to get the grade you want to get. And I kind of watched that happen with horror, and made decisions based on that following my formal education. But I think that part of it is we need to share our expectations with one another. So how will you today, share in the comments below, how will you, if you haven't done this yet, start the conversation or have a conversation or share your expectations? And I say, start with yourself because that's always the most powerful way to lead. Start by sharing the expectations you have of yourself, and then invite other people to do the same, or other people in your, at least in your close network, if you're just getting started. If you've already done this, then you know how to do it, and you can teach us some things and share your lessons learned in the comments below. All right, that's our topic for today. I'd love to know your take on this, or if you think, I just don't think this belongs anywhere in my business at all, not even open for discussion, not even going to add it, not going to do it. Because I'd like to know that too, because just because I think it's an important component of my life and my businesses and my world doesn't mean you think it is at all relevant or important to yours. If you make paper clips and sell paper clips and you're just a small drop shipper for paper clips, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you're a one-person show, and then it does matter, by the way, because if you're doing this all by yourself online, whatever type industry or business you're in, then your expectations of yourself and connected to a higher power are critically important. All right. Have a great day. If I can help in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with another spiritual health and well-being related topic for this month. Have a great day.